You know, it's funny that you mentioned
struggle.
Seacrest too, because we used to live in the same apartment complex.
Oh wow.
For like a good 7 years.
Shit.
When he just moved from Georgia.
At what age is this?
Damn, what were we? We were in our 20s.
I mean, that makes
So
sense. I was gonna
90s,
say-
it was in the 90s.
No kidding.
So,
yeah,
so
it was
at that
in the
point,
90s, yeah.
he's you've already had like fame, and but he's at that point he hasn't done.
I mean, I
American
just done,
Idol.
I was
He
doing a
doesn't-
Saturday morning show and Saved by the Bell, right?
Yeah,
But
right.
he was a radio DJ as well, and it was a few years then he had just gotten American Idol after that. But yeah, we lived in the same complex.
Dude, is that how old American Idol is?
Dude, American Idol's been on like 20 years or something.
Really?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
probably
been-
at
it's been
least, right?
crazy.
I mean,
Because it took a little break for a while, remember?
Yeah,
It took a little
yeah.
break, and then it came back on ABC. But I just thought it was funny you mentioned because we used to live in the same apartment complex.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's crazy thinking about like super famous people such as yourselves living in an apartment complex. Like it feels like fake. Like, it
yeah,
feels,
like you were taking like the garbage down to like the garbage room.
like I lived in an
a
apartment
lot of
complex.
people lived in that one too. It was called Park Point. It was in Burbank, and I remember. So Seacrest was there. Jennifer Love Hewitt was there. Days of Our Lives cast was
This
there.
is like a reality show. It's like a joke.
There was a lot of hot girls there. Check.
I bet.
It was like Melrose Place.
Yeah.
We were like and that was fun. I was single. That was fun. Terry was there. There was a bunch of people there at that particular.
Was
I don't know why.
Was it
I think
known
was,
as like if you're young?
So they're like the
single?
first hype house.
Tatiana Ali, they're coming to me now from Fresh Prince. A
Jesus.
lot of people were there, and
Would
all
you
at
guys
the same
hang out,
time.
or is it
Yeah,
just-
we'd have like there was like a big common area, and everybody would kind of party around that common area. And the only reason I think a lot of people live there is because it was really geographically convenient to the studios. Like it was right by Universal Studios, Warner Brothers, and it was just right by there, and it just so happened like those were good times.
Like, hey Jennifer, hey Tatiana, like meet me in the courtyard. We're gonna have a bottle of wine. That's
I mean,
unreal.
you describe like a college dorm. It's like
it
we're
was
really famous people.
that was my college experience.
Yeah,
University
that's
of Park
wild.
Point. It's called, yeah.
That I mean, that had to be a fun time. Yeah,
That was fun.
That's good.
That was
What's
fun, man? Pre-social media, what do you call it? Smartphones.
Bro, what do you think Saved by the Bell would have been like Saved by the Bell fame? I know it kind of happened a little bit after the fact, right? We've talked about that before, where in the first initial run, it wasn't this phenomenon that it became. But if you were like doing the child actor thing with a popular show like that under the microscope of social media, I mean,
Well, that wouldn't have been. That wouldn't have been
good.
I mean, I probably would have been a lot more savvy about it, so therefore careful about
Right.
it. But just thank God it wasn't around.
it's so funny. Everybody from like the previous era
Yeah.
says that, like, oh, I would be dead by now, or like they would have fired
I
me, or
just-
whatever.
I mean, I wasn't acting a fool, like doing stupid shit. But I just would have. It would have got me in a lot of trouble, relationship wise.
Yeah, I mean,
Let's just say from
that-
back in the day. But I feel like you got to have that sort of run because then
Get
you
it out.
appreciate where you're at
Yeah.
now, and because after a while, because I started young, so that
I'm sure.
after a while it gets a little redundant, and it gets a little
Putting aside, like, obviously your life now with your wife, kids, I mean, obviously that's like, the best. What was like your favorite time period of life? Is it Saved by the Bell? Is it that time? Is it once you started doing this?
Probably mid 90, like 94 to 2004. That 10-year stretch.
That's a good run. That's a good
That was a great. That was a great.
like,
Oh
also,
no, the run started before, but that was like we're talking like prime Tom Brady.
also having a
collecting
10-year
rings. Just collecting rings.
10-year
right there.
prime is like very
No, that
nice,
was-
man.
Yeah, those 10 years.
I always said, like, to me, people say college is the best 4 years of your life, and I loved 22 to 26 way more than 18 to 22. I liked college; it was fine.
Yeah.
But afterwards, having a little bit of money, working, living in the city with who I wanted to live with, like, no dorm rooms, real apartments,
Right.
kind of in a little bit more control of your life, but still young enough to be like an idiot and have no responsibilities and
Yes,
bills.
that's the sweet
that was
spot.
the best for
You're
me,
right.
Yeah. And I mean,
agree.
I'd imagine doing all of that with some fame under your belt and all that shit. It was probably fun.
I always
Collecting rings is an interesting way to put it.
I always reference this article that was in like I think it was the Hollywood Reporter. I always forget, but it was basically how social media killed the party scene in LA. And I guess there was one woman who owned a bunch of bars, and it's kind of her talking about what the scene was like and how like she's like we'd have a line outside and like Justin Timberlake would go outside and just pick who he wanted to come in. Like there wasn't anything you could do. And she always described this one scene in one of her bars, and she might have made it up, I don't know. But she's like, one night we had like Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis in a bench, in a booth, Jay-Z on stage, Beyonce and her girls dancing, Prince in the back with like he was just drinking water or whatever, and it's this whole like crazy scene. It's like, and just no one ever has a picture of it because it couldn't exist now because there would be nothing but no one would be enjoying it. It would be all cameras out.
Yeah. I remember many nights like that, and I'm like, damn, I wish I had. I remember, it's funny you say that because I remember one night too. I did see Jay-Z right there, and I remember Ben Affleck, Vince Vaughn, DiCaprio. They were all at the same bar right off of Sunset. That one right across the street from where the sushi spot is now. No, not Bar One. It was down gosh damn it. It's like an Asian restaurant right now. I can't remember the name of it right now, but it was. I remember vividly all those faces.
Yeah,
and
that's a bomb squad right there.
Yeah, but like randomly there were like little pockets throughout the club, but I'd walk around and like I'd see all these faces, and it was like, and you'd see that often. But now I don't think you'd ever see that because people are so afraid to.
I know.
You know what I mean? And not like they were doing anything wrong, just hanging out.
I was gonna say it's not even about. We deal with it on a crazy small
Roxbury.
scale, obviously.
Well, what used to be across the road in Roxbury, that's what it was. The one, but it was across the street. That one. You know what I'm talking about. This fool talking about my buddies right there. Bro, we can't remember.
But you feel like it just changes how your night's going because you just feel the camera on you.
Yeah.
Whether or not you're doing anything bad, it's just like, this is uncomfortable. Like,
sure. I mean, there were the people.
You feel it on you, and you feel like it might be perceived different. Like, there's a girl might be asking me, excuse me, you know what time it is? I lean in to hear her, and then all of a sudden, I'm making out. Or like, who's this girl he's flirting with?
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? You just got it. People don't care about the truth. They just don't worry about it later.
That's one going viral right now with Luka Doncic is at a bar. He's got a beer in his hand.
Yeah. And
it's like today, and it's people like someone put it out, and it's like midday, Luka drinking a beer, and the Mavs had to put out a statement being like, no, that was yesterday.
Yeah.
Because he's playing tonight.
You can make it look however you want to make it look.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure there's tabloids always, right?
Yeah,
but
there was those magazines and stuff.
Did it ramp up? Like, is the TMZ era, and because of the internet, like, I mean, it probably had to be like a photographer running around with a camera or maybe a writer, but now it just feels like anybody can take a picture and submit it to Dumois and submit it to, you know.
What's funny is like that's the one thing back in the day. There used to be a lot of paparazzi.
Right.
A lot of paparazzi running around because nobody had the smartphones, right? So you just kind of, if you wanted to avoid that, going through the back or whatever.
Sure.
That was always cool, and I didn't care because I'm not doing anything. So what does it matter? But now that's gone because everyone's sort of a paparazzi.
Right. It's like they have a street team doing it for you.
Right. Or just people in there and they'll submit it, and then they'll also everybody is their own little sort of paparazzi free.
And you like to think there was at least some form of vetting or some form of editorial with the paparazzis. You're like, well, that doesn't really.
Yeah.
That does, and maybe not. Maybe I'm completely
a little
wrong,
honor amongst thieves. Maybe like like we'll take your pictures, but we'll do it right if you give me a shot.
Exactly. There was cool. There was a lot of that going. And now there's certain parties they can go to, and I've been to a few. They make you hand in the phone, and they put it in like a
zip it up,
like
whatever.
a zip kind of deal, and secure thing. You get it, and some people still manage to kind of maybe get phones because there was a couple of shots come out, but for the most part, that's how
It sounds like a pretty good party there, Mario.
Well, that's just standard now. Like certain places, they'll make you do stuff like that.
I've been to shows like that. I have not been invited to a party.
It's like, how about you get to keep your phone and just don't be a dick.